There's an old saying, if you know how much ammo you have, you don't have enough. Now, I did not know how much ammo I had until I made this video. And actually, I still don't know exactly how much ammo I have, but it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 70,000 rounds. My name is Jamil Barbar, this is Man Stuff, and today I'm gonna go through my entire ammo stash and show you how much ammo I've got in stock. Starting with 22 long rifle and working my way up to bigger calibers, this can right here has 5,000 rounds. This box has 1,600 rounds. These bricks each have 500 rounds. So this is 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. And this little milk carton thing has 200 rounds in it. Each one of these mags is loaded with 25 rounds, which is 125 rounds, which brings the grand total of 22 to 10,925 rounds. Next up, we've got 380. Now, I would never buy 380. I don't know why anybody would buy 380, but this ammo, old as hell, 600 rounds of it, along with this Browning 380 pistol, belonged to my uncle. This ammo is probably at least 15 or 20 years old, so I think this weekend I'm gonna have to take it all out with this Browning, as much as I don't really want to shoot this pistol, and just use it all up. Now let's get into 9mm, which is really the bulk of my stash. I have about 45,000 rounds of 9mm, and we'll go through them right now. Starting with this 50 caliber can, got about 2,000 rounds in there, and I have 10 more cans just like it sitting right here on the floor, each with about 2,000 rounds. That's a total of 22,000 rounds. These little cans have 1,000 rounds each, and these are 1,000 round bricks, so there's 4,000 rounds right here. Got more 9mm over here. Let's start with the Monarch 9mm. We got 200, 400, 6, 8, 1,000, 2, 4, 6, 8, 50. This is 1850 plus 200, 400, 600, 8, 1,000, 200, 300. 1850 plus 1,300, what is that? 3,150. And finally, some Blazer Brass 9mm, 250 rounds, 500, 750, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 2,650. Okay, now for these massive crates, this top one has 6,000 rounds of 9mm, and I did a short where I filled it up. You can watch that. I'll put a link in the description. Now, those of you who follow the channel might be wondering what happened to that giant can that I filled with 10,000 rounds of 9mm a while ago, which became my most viral short. It's approaching 30 million views. The answer is it's still here on the floor in my garage, but it is down to about half capacity. I have slowly been taking ammo out of it. So at this point, it's at half capacity. We're gonna call this 5,000 rounds. Let's get into 223. I've got 2,000 rounds inside of this monster right here. And yes, I did a short when I filled it up. These cans each have between 600 to 700 rounds. I'm gonna average it out and call it 1,300 for a total of 3,300 rounds. And this bigger crate has 10,000 rounds of 223. I also did a short filling this up. I'll put a link in the description for that as well. This is just one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. I like opening this crate and just looking at the ammo, touching the ammo. It's like having a sexy woman. It's the same effect. Here's the saddest part of this video. This is all the 45 ACP that I have at the moment. It's only 1,000 rounds. I have some amazing 1911s from what you can see right here. These are Wilson Combat 1911s. This was the first one I ever bought. It's the Wilson Classic. This is a discontinued model. These are probably around $4,500 if they were still around, and it's an absolute work of art. So I'm gonna run through that 1,000 rounds over the next couple of weeks. I wanna do videos with all three of my Wilson Combat 1911s. I'm gonna need to order more 45, I'll just say that. And right here, a bunch of 12 gauge. Each one of these packs is 100 shells. So there's 2, 4, 6, 700. Right here, doves and target. These are gonna come in handy soon because we're right around the corner from dove season, and I wanna get at least 500 doves this year. On this side, a little bit more specialized 12 gauge for duck hunting and teal hunting. There's a total of 50, 100, 150, 200, 225 rounds right there. This fast steel is really good for duck hunting. I like these rounds. For dove, I'm really not picky. I just buy the cheapest dove load, but for duck and teal, I get a little bit more picky about the ammo that I'm using, especially depending on where I'm hunting and how far away I'm shooting them. And I have two 5-gallon buckets right here. This one is filled with 500 rounds of 20 gauge. And this one has about 500 rounds of 12 gauge. Probably a little bit more, but I don't know for sure. So I'm just gonna call it 500. Let's get into hunting rounds a little bit. I recently bought a 308, a 6.5 Creedmoor, and a 300 Win Mag rifle, and that's what this ammo here is. This is a 200 round box of 6.5 Creedmoor. Here we've got 300 Win Mag, 80 rounds, and 308, 160 rounds, for a total of 440 rounds. This Hornady Precision Hunter is supposed to be some really good stuff. They're expensive too. This box of 20 was $55. That's almost $3 a round. But I don't shoot that much 300 Win Mag. In fact, I've never shot a 300 Win Mag. I just got my rifle, haven't even put a scope on it yet. So I got 80 rounds. I think that'll be enough to dial it in, get comfortable with it, and go hunting, hopefully soon, and get a big animal. And now we get into the fun stuff. These are home defense, self-defense rounds, hollow points, green tips, that whole thing. Like this Winchester 12 gauge Defender round, which has a 1 ounce slug with 3 double-aught buck pellets behind it, which I think is a pretty cool round. I have 10 boxes of this stuff. Each box has 10 rounds, so that's 100. 12 gauge hollow points, which I think is an absolutely ridiculous idea. But that's why I had to get one box of 12 gauge hollow points, because they're ridiculous. There's some 223 silver tip ballistic silver tip ammo right there. 12 gauge mini shells. These are pretty cool. If you don't know about these, look into them. But make sure before you buy a box, make sure whatever shotgun you have is going to cycle the mini shells, because not all shotguns like this ammo. 223 zombie rounds by Hornady. These are pretty cool. They've got green tips. They look fun, so I bought them. And a box of 9mm hollow points right here by Hornady as well. There's 75 rounds in this thing. I carry some of them, so there may not actually be 75 in there at the moment, but it's a 75 round box. All together with whatever other various hollow points and 12 gauge this and that, I have probably 500 to 600 rounds in specialty ammo. We'll just call it 500 rounds. I also have about 800 or 900 rounds of random calibers that I don't even have guns for, like 357 SIG, 22 Short, 22 Magnum. I don't even know how I got that ammo, but I've got a good variety of stuff like that. I have a box of AK ammo. I don't have an AK. I know I'm supposed to like AKs because I'm Middle Eastern. I always joke about that, but I'm an AR guy. I always have been. I've never liked AKs. I've shot them, just not a fan. But I do have a box of AK ammo for some reason. I was not gonna bring them here because it's just so random and scattered, and I didn't want to go through the trouble of putting them in the video. But there's another 800 or 900 rounds lying around somewhere. And I forgot to mention earlier during the 223 part of the video that I always keep at least 400 rounds loaded in my AR mags. So this is another 400 rounds that's not being counted into the total. So finally, after hours of moving all these boxes of ammo around and putting them here so I can count them and have them in the video, I've got a final number, which is 75,265 rounds, give or take. Remember I said at the beginning of this video, I don't know exactly how much ammo I have. I estimated it was about 70,000. Turns out I was off by about 5,000 rounds. The thumbnail for this video still says 70,000 rounds because I made it before I recorded the video, and I was not gonna go back and design a new thumbnail because those damn things take a lot of work. Now, every time I do a short where I'm filling some giant can or crate with thousands of rounds of ammo, people always want to know how much it costed. So here's some numbers to think about. The 10,000 round 9mm order that I got for that giant can in my garage that I filled was, I think, $2,300. The 10,000 rounds of 223 that I ordered for that wooden crate that I filled was, I believe, $4,200. So that's $6,500 right there for 10,000 rounds of 223 and 9mm. Based on the numbers of ammo in this video, you can do the math and calculate it if you're really that interested. My rough calculation says my stash is somewhere in the $20,000 to $25,000 range. If this video does amazing and gets a lot of views, I just might have to order 25,000 more rounds and make a new video with a 100,000 round stash, but I really don't want to do that. Let's just say, I don't know, this video would have to get at least 1 million views for me to do that. That's it for today. I am Jamil Barbar. This is Man Stuff. You can click here for more Man Stuff videos. You can click there to subscribe to the channel and check the description for a link where you can buy Man Stuff merch.